I don't know in the course of my Army career working with pack mules how many shoes I've put on how many hooves, but I do know this. It's all in the past now. The Army has written the end to the pack mule story. You know why? It boils down to numbers. I said before, a mule could carry a 400-pound pack up to 25 miles a day. Great. The mule should be proud. But a helicopter, say, can tote the same load, 400 pounds, and move it 650 miles in a day's flight. 25 miles against 650 miles, well, that's the story right there. What's more, much as I hate to admit it, a whirlybird's even more at home in mountainous and jungle terrain than a mule is. It simply flies over it and pops down into position while old Hambone and company have to plod along step by step. When you have a look at what the modern-day helicopters can do and see the loads that can be carried, you have to admit the hard-working mule no longer fits into the Army picture. Today, the Army must be prepared to handle trouble in localized areas with hard-hitting units, fast-moving and far-moving. And the mule just hasn't kept pace with this modern concept of warfare. Even without the helicopter, the development of special vehicles for overland travel over rough terrain would have meant less call for the mule. Recently developed for all-terrain transportation is the so-called mechanical mule, a four-wheel drive vehicle that just eats up the rough going. It scoots over hill and dale without pausing for breath. Good roads or no roads, it just keeps rolling along. Yes, time has moved on, and our Army mule has become a luxury we can no longer afford. So that's why they're all together on this day at Fort Carson. For today will be the ceremony that marks the retirement of the mule from the United States Army. After 120 years of battle service in all quarters of the world, the Army's combat mule detachments are being replaced. There's a final physical checkup for each one of the animals. After today's ceremony, they will be turned over to quartermaster for non-combat duties, meaning a contented, lazy life of nibbling on some grassy field lies ahead. The mules are in top-grade shape, too, so it looks like a long life. Time for the retirement ceremony. The last review of Pack Battery A, 4th Field Artillery Battalion, and the 35th Quartermaster Pack Company. The last day of glory for the combat mule. The mules herd out for the last time, heading for the final parade and review, and full military honors by officers and men whom they have served so well. With this pass in review, the 4th Field Artillery Battalion, PAC, organized almost half a century ago, becomes a part of Army history. Its designation will be moved to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where the unit will be equipped with howitzers and rocket launchers transportable by helicopter. Instead of shoeing the trusty pack animals and brushing them slick, soldiers will be working with helicopters and experimental amphibious units. But you know, that doesn't mean we can't all be a little sentimental about the last day of the mule. 2 veteran note burners, the famous Hambone, accompanied by his sergeant caretaker, and the equally renowned Trotter. Both are awarded affectionately worded certificates of recognition for loyal, devoted service. For those who watch, mixed feelings. Awareness that time marches on is balanced against the attitude of the old Army Mountain Battery song, that grand old fool, the Army mule, who is never known to fail. Maybe that's why, as afternoon faded to dusk, all of us wished we could get something across to Hambone and Trotter and all the rest. Well done, we wanted to tell them. Well done, thou good and faithful servant.
And what more can we say to our faithful friend, the Army mule, than that we hope he and his buddies enjoy the comfortable retirement they so richly deserve. Now, this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us again next week for another look at your Army in action on The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is an official television report for the armed forces and the American people. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center. Presented by the United States Army in cooperation with this station.